Caleb with Brownells here, and in today's quick tip, I wanted to talk to you about cable management. So we're going to be talking about mainly the AR-15 here, but this applies for any firearm that you're going to be putting any kind of lights, lasers, different things like that on. So this is kind of a good baseline, and I did this build here, did some cable management, and just basically thought, man, that'd be just good to kind of show you guys in a video, and so you can see how I went about it. And there's a lot of ways to do this. There's a ton of different cable management options out there, all the way down, from just zip ties to more specialized products like the ones I'm using here. So let me run you through it. So first, let me just tell you what we're using here, so you get a good idea of kind of what paths my cables are taking. Alright, so what we have here, we're running a Steiner DBAL, so this is our laser. It has IR, visible, and then it also has a IR illuminator on it. Then we're also running a Surefire scout light with the IR head on it, so this is a really cool as well. It has IR optional, so I mean you could turn the head and just run white light as well, so really versatile light there. And we're running the tail cap on here, so we have a push button on our tail cap if we need it, and then we're also plugging in as well. So with that being said, our button we're using is the new Unity Axon switch. I say new, it depends on when you're watching this video. But this switch here has a button on the bottom and a button on the top. So I can run just the DBAL, or I can run the light and visible laser the way it's kind of plugged in here. So with the way it's plugged in, I actually have 3 different cables coming off of this thing. I have one for my light, one for the general operation of the DBAL, and then one for the visible override, right? So there's 3 things coming off of here. So now I'm in a cable management situation because now I have cables everywhere. So the way I went about handling that was, and I'll just pick it up here so I can actually show you guys. So I'm using the Forward Controls rail panels. They're standard G10 panels wrapped around here, but I'm also using their cable management panels that they did in collaboration with TMVC. And what these do, they're billet aluminum panels, and if you can kind of, I'll show you the back of it here so you can kind of see. You can see underneath the panel, it has different channels cut in it, so you can use it to route your cables. And these just mount to M-LOK, and we're clear here, so I'm gonna try to show you the front of this thing, if I can. So if you look at it here, you can see that one of the cables coming off of my Axon, it runs back underneath the panel, then runs up into my light. So that thing's tight, it's not going anywhere. And I don't have to worry about using any zip ties or other wraps or whatever guys are doing out there. This was a really effective method for me. And then also what I ended up doing, if you look underneath my light and laser, if you can see that there, there's another rail panel under there. Obviously, people, when the first thing they kind of comment when they see this is, why do you have an M-LOK panel under your light? You don't put your hand there. But if you look, it's actually routing a cable that runs under the light and then back up into the laser. So everything is nice and out of the way. It's a really clean cable setup, and honestly this is probably one of the best ways I found to manage cables like this, especially when using like an Axon switch, a hot button, different products like that. Like I said before, there's other options. If you're going to use, like, let's say for example you want to use your standard Surefire pressure pad, Cloud Defense makes a really good panel for that actually lets you run cables underneath the pressure switch attachment, which is a pretty interesting way. And as I said before, this isn't the only way to do it. There's a ton of different ways, but I found this to be extremely effective for this particular setup, so I wanted to share it with you. If you have any questions or comments, you're watching this on YouTube, feel free to comment down below. If you have another way you're using to manage cables, let us know in the comments down below as well. If you're not on YouTube and you're watching this on the website, I will link these products down below. If you haven't already, and again, going back to YouTube, hit that like and subscribe button. And if you have any questions, feel free to give us a call on the tech line. We'll be happy to help you out. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.